Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to visit with a YouTuber named Lauren Monique, and Lauren went on a weight loss drug called Qsymia, and she recently had a couple side effects, and she's going to tell us about those side effects. I hope you like this.
And it's Lauren Monique. If you are new here, and I don't want to say we have a Qsymia update. We just have a weight loss journey update. Um, so for the past 6 days, I've been dealing with side effects from the weight loss medication that I was on, and I stopped the medication. What was that? 3 days ago, and I'm still dealing with side effects. And let me tell you, being skinny is not worth it. Like, I don't want to ever discourage anybody from medication. So I don't even want to speak on the medication. I just want to talk about my experience that I've been dealing with this past week and just how scary it's been. I it's part my fault because I didn't ask a lot of questions before I got on this medication. I didn't ask what I needed to make sure I did. Um, I honestly feel like if I would have just, forced myself to eat more and forced myself to drink way more water, I probably wouldn't have dealt with the side effects that I am dealing with. But it's very scary. Like, at this point, I'm just like, I do feel really discouraged about my weight loss journey just because I felt like I was seeing some progress.
All right, let's pause there real quick. Have you yourself at home ever been on a weight loss journey, decided to take a prescription for something, and the prescription, for whatever reason, didn't work? In Lauren's case, she takes this medicine, she's starting to see some change in her weight, only to get these side effects. And hopefully she'll go into what exactly she experienced here. But if you know what she's going through, share your experience down in the comments, please.
I saw my doctor, I think, April 5th, and I weighed 227. The lowest I got while I was on this medication was 210. I weighed myself this morning. I'm actually 3 pounds heavier, so I'm 213 now. So I lost a total of 14 pounds, which is not bad. I've been on the medication since May 1st, and I stopped the medication, what was that, June 9th, June 10th. So to lose 14 pounds in that amount of time is like, I was seeing some progress. So, like, the fact that I had to stop it, I'm getting very discouraged about my weight loss journey because I suffer from a condition, and why did I just forget it? Literally just blanked out. But primary ovarian failure, and it's pretty much, I'm postmenopausal, so it's early menopause. And with my hormones the way that they are, it's so hard for me to lose weight. Like, I've tried so many different things. I did the keto diet in 2021, lost 30 pounds, which is just not something that I could sustain for like a long term like way of eating. And I don't know, I'm just feeling really discouraged because in no way did I think that I would be dealing with this for so long. Like, I literally don't feel like myself anymore.
For some women, obviously, they're going through perimenopause, they're going through menopause, they're postmenopausal, right? You have these situations where all of a sudden your body doesn't feel quite the same that it used to. A lot of people, when I watch through these videos, they'll describe a situation where in the past they could have done some walking, they could have done some exercise and some dieting, and the weight would have come off. Now they're into the throes of menopause, and for whatever reason, the weight won't get off or won't come off, excuse me. I know that has to be extremely frustrating. So, again, if this is something that you're kind of experiencing, or if you have friends or family members that are going through it and you want to maybe share what you're going through, let us know.
I'm starting to like blame myself because I should have just drank more water. Like, I honestly feel like if I would have drank more water, I would have been fine. But between, my normal Monday to Friday life, I have a part-time job, and it's so hard when I'm actually working in a retail place part-time. And so I can't just, constantly take breaks to like drink water. So, and like, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Like, of course, I could go to the gym. I can watch what I eat and all of those things, but it's going to take so much longer, and I'm getting so much older. And also when I'm battling, my hormones just being out of whack, I just feel so discouraged. But I just know, like, If I could go back to like last week, it's not worth it. Like, I just really wish I could go back and one, would have just stayed on the dose that I was on because I actually had got an increase after a month because I asked. Or two, I just really wish I would have asked more questions because I didn't ask enough questions before I got on this medication. So I didn't really know all of the side effects, besides that potentially it could affect your blood pressure. That was the only thing I knew, and I didn't ask questions. So
So right there, guys, is one thing that we can take from Lauren. Make sure when you do go to see your provider that you have a list of questions in advance so you don't forget to ask anything. And even though your doctor might make you feel like he's in a rush, that doesn't mean you have to be in a rush. Take a deep breath, figure out every question you absolutely need to have an answer to, and make sure you get those questions answered. She feels a little guilty about not taking water. I don't know if she felt like that would have diluted her medicine because I don't know exactly how the medication works. Or maybe she just feels like if she had water in her system, she wouldn't have had these side effects. Is that something that you guys know to be true? That if you take water, it dilutes stuff down and makes it where you're less likely to have a side effect? That sounds to me like that would be inconsequential.
so I don't know if I will be continuing the medication because I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I'm so traumatized just from like this past. Sorry, like whew. I'm near, like, my apartment is like near our pool area. So if you hear any background noise, it's just because I'm in my bedroom, and like my bedroom is literally facing our pool area. But anyways, um, what was I saying? I get like so distracted. Um, I literally lost my train of thought. And so when I look back at this, I need to like cut it and be like, girl, what were you talking about? Anyways, I just really wish I would have stayed on the dose that I was on.
I was watching some videos today and they were saying that one of the advantages of like Mounjaro and Wegovy is that it's been shown to reduce the plaques that forms on your brain that can lead to dementia and Alzheimer's and memory issues. And I'm not saying that's what Lauren's dealing with. I think she's just having a brain fart. But from what I understand, heavier set people do have a higher risk of potentially getting dementia and Alzheimer's. And by walking, you can lower those risks. So, one thing I noticed with Lauren here is unlike a lot of the other people we watch, she doesn't look super duper heavy. And I say this with a little bit more confidence than usual because it looks like you can kind of see that she's sitting on her bed. So we can kind of see her body type. She looks a little overweight, but not too overweight. So hopefully, if she can get a walking or an exercise routine, hopefully she can get this under control.
Oh yeah, I'm so traumatized. I don't know if I will try another weight loss medication because I am mentally, I've been so drained these past 6 days. Like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was super lightheaded. Like I literally felt like I was gonna faint. And like Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, my heart rate has just been dropping, and I've just been so scared, and I've been like having panic attacks. So when you like can't even calm yourself down because you're having a panic attack because of the side effects, I just feel like it's, I don't know. Like I just feel like I don't feel like normal. And I feel like I don't want this video to discourage anybody that's on the medication. That's why I don't even want to talk about the medication. I just want to talk about my side effects right now and like what I'm going to do next. I literally don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't see my doctor for like another 10 days. But I feel like we see all these people talking about like those Ozempic and the Wegovy's and like, all the popular weight loss, injections and things like that. And we just be like, oh, how can I get that? But like, do we really make sure we ask enough questions? Or maybe it was just me that didn't ask enough questions. I was really just thinking about, I want to get skinny because I've gained so much weight and like my self-esteem has just been so low because of it that I was just trying to lose weight. That now that I'm dealing with like the aftermath of, the medication, and I'm just like, I wish I could go back because I don't feel like myself. Like could walk. Like I'm so used to just walking everywhere, and it's also another great form of exercise. Like I tried to walk to the grocery store yesterday, and I almost fainted. Like it was horrible. I just don't know what to do. And I'm just really feeling discouraged. I just feel like I'm now at like a standstill with like my weight loss journey because even if I wanted to go to the gym, I don't think I could even make it because my heart rate is just fluctuating. It's just so uncomfortable. I get lightheaded. I don't know. I just want to go back to normal.
Poor thing. That's really miserable when you're not feeling good and you throw a couple panic attacks on top of everything, and that's going to be the worst. Guys, I don't remember ever hearing of Qsymia, but then as I say that, I can almost picture a commercial going, Qsymia. If you guys at home have any experience or know a friend or family member that has experience with this prescription, let us know kind of a little bit about it in the comments if you don't mind. It sounds to me like whatever side effects it gave to Lauren, it has totally freaked her out. If you kind of have dealt with side effects with any type of medication, I'd imagine it doesn't make you feel good at all. She seems really out of sorts. One of the things that it sounds like she was doing that she really enjoyed doing was walking, and it sounds like she also wants to drink more water. That's some of the things that we do here. So if you'd like to join us, go get your shoes. Let's go for a walk. Good morning, Venters. Welcome to day 3 of the 90-day / 180-day challenge. I say 180 days because we're going to blast through 90 days. Let's play a game called Can You Imagine? Can you imagine if every Saturday morning and every Sunday morning before you watched a college or NFL football game, could you imagine if you went on the field like they did and ran a couple pass routes, right? Sounds like fun, right? But it's not something you should do because if you try to get on that field, there's a good chance you'll get arrested, right? But the reality is, if you have your own version of pregame, by actually going on a walk in the morning, you're going to lose a lot of weight. So here's the can you imagine part. Can you imagine if over the last 15 or 20 years that you've been enjoying football games on Saturdays and Sundays, can you imagine if before every one of those games you had enjoyed a 30-minute walk by yourself to collect your thoughts, to remind yourself that the winner of the game should not predicate on whether your life is great afterwards or not, right? And the reality is, all those weekends, if we would have been walking, we would probably be a good 5 to 15 pounds less than we find ourselves weighing nowadays. So could you imagine if every day at work you had a 15-minute walk as a way to finish up your meal, right? We always get a half hour to an hour for lunch at work. It doesn't take us a half hour to eat our food. We are capable of eating our food in 15 minutes. What's that mean, Jesse? Well, Bob, what it means is that each and every one of us every day at work has the ability to actually take a 15-minute walk at work. So can you imagine if over the last 15 or 20 years in which that lunch has been helping you gain 15 or 20 pounds, could you imagine if you had walked away part of those calories every day with a simple 15 to 20-minute walk at your lunch break? That's powerful stuff. And can you imagine on the weekends, let's say you're not a football fan, but you really enjoy the tradition that you and your spouse have of going to Denny's, of going to IHOP, of going to, First Watch, whatever your favorite breakfast restaurant is. Could you imagine if you would have taken a walk there? Or if it's too far, could you imagine if you would have taken a morning walk for 30 minutes before every single time you guys had your favorite breakfast place on the weekends? Once again, you would probably be anywhere from 5 to 15 pounds less than you are today. Could you imagine if every single time you went for seconds, you would have held off and said, wait a minute, there's no such thing as seconds. What I'm doing is I'm eating a second dinner. I know seconds and second dinner are the same thing, but think about this. We are living in a world where we're supposed to have 3 square meals a day and maybe 2 or 3 snacks in between those meals. You're actually having typically 4 meals a day. And when you have a second and third donut or a second or third scoop of ice cream, you're technically having a second or third dessert. So could you imagine if we all lived in a world where instead of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we had breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, dessert number 1, dessert number 2, dessert number 3, along with our 3 or 4 snacks during the day? We would all be 5 to 15 pounds heavier, if not more. So let's subtract that. Could you imagine if over the last 15 or 20 years you had avoided that second dinner and avoided that second or third dessert? Once again, you would probably be 5 to 15 pounds less. So what happens when we imagine all these things happening together over the last 5 or 15 years? All of a sudden, you're not 5 to 15 pounds less, you're probably 30 to 40 pounds less. So here's the cool thing. Our muscles come with this thing called muscle memory. There's no reason why we can't get back to that body that you had in your 20s and 30s. Will you look the same at age 55 that you did at age 25? Probably not. You're probably not going to be able to be as athletic or as strong as you were then, but that doesn't mean that we can't fight to get close to that. And since our game plan is pretty low impact and something that we can do regularly and all the time, let's go for it. Let's get back to that person that we want to be. Guys, I got out super late today. I was doing that video yesterday, and it was a video that I've been working on for like the past week. Guys, that was the hardest darn video I've ever had to do. And then I'm taking a look at it this morning and I realize I left an unfinished edit right in the middle of it where I basically came on and I was like, hey, this is what Kaizen is. And then I literally said the words, no, let me do that again. And I didn't think to edit that out. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. But sometimes when you see those little bloopers left in a film reel, it's kind of fun to know that, hey, this obviously took more than one chance to get this right. So again, that's how diet and exercise is, guys. Sometimes you're going to want the first diet and exercise plan you go on to be a success. But sometimes you need a take 2. Sometimes you need a take 3. And in your case with diet and exercise plans, you might have tried dozens of diets that have failed you. So what's going to make this one different? Guys, what's going to make this one different is it's actually easy. Think about this. If you're trying to motivate yourself to do 100 push-ups a day, or you're trying to motivate yourself to go to the gym and get progressively stronger lifting weights, have you ever seen somebody that lifts weights at the gym? They could literally be lifting for years and years of their life, and in many cases, they don't even look like somebody that lifts weights. Why? Because most people go into the gym and they kind of act like they're power lifters. And that's why a lot of times they end up having a power lifter's body. If you look at a power lifter, they're capable of lifting ungodly amounts of weight. But they all look like they've been eating food nonstop their whole life. They're all overweight guys that are just incredibly strong. Okay? Most people that go to the gym do not end up looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They end up looking really average. So here's the question you have to ask for yourself. If you go to the gym and all it does is make you look bigger, fatter, and stronger than ever, but doesn't do anything for your weight loss, then no wonder you've quit in the past. What you've got to do is you've got to walk for a half hour and then hit the weights. That way, if you quit with the weights, you can still keep with your walk. And that's what Six Pack Sean does. Sean, you work out X amount of days a week, but you do that in addition to walking every day. And that's the key, guys. It's not about how big can I get my muscles so I can lose weight. It's how much weight can I lose so my muscles pop out and show. You know, that's the key. You want to be one of these people that when you're 50 or you're 55, people are amazed because you don't look 50 or 55.
And the best way to do that is not by getting muscles, it's by losing fat. And believe me, you will be shocked at how much muscle your body already has on it. The only way to get those muscles to show is to quit eating sugar, walk every single day, and drink as much water as you can. If you get rid of these Coca-Colas and you get rid of most of these dessert foods, notice I didn't say all, but if you get rid of most of them, you're not going to be able to help but lose weight. So let's do this together. Sean, you've been walking with me every day since day one. Mala, Lily, Rochelle, GL, all the others that I've missed, you guys have been walking with me since day one. Even the ones that haven't been going hardcore have still been losing 5 or 6 pounds. So I think you know deep down that if this is something that you can apply Kaizen, apply a little baby step, say, hey, I'm gonna go from walking with Jesse 5 or 6 days a week to 7 days. And I'm gonna try to plug in 2 or 3 midday walks. Trust me, your coworkers are cool, interesting folks, but they're not so cool and interesting that you can't take a 15-minute walk in the middle of the day. And if you have a big business, it's not like you have to go walking down the street at the park. Just walk your business building, just walk around the perimeter 2 or 3 times, and there you go. Nowadays, we're getting to the point where the weather's starting to soften. It's starting to get a little cooler. Is it cooler for you today, Jesse? No, Bob, because I overslept because I was up doing that video last night. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's only 87 degrees, so why am I feeling like it's hot? Well, in the morning, guys, the sun is up in the middle of the sky and there's no shade to be found. So even though it's getting a little bit cooler, it can still be pretty warm. So make sure you get your walk done early. Make sure that you try to choose pathways that have shade. And these are things that are going to make you want to continue walking rather than that hot sun, which has a tendency to make you want to stop walking. You have to try to be strategic and come up with a good game plan. You live in a different state than I do, most likely. So when you jump into your think tank, your thoughts are going to be different than mine. Mine is, how can I find shade? Your state might be freezing cold. Yours might be the opposite. How can I find a pathway where there's not so many trees? Because I need that sunlight so I can stay warm. When we do these things, guys, that's when all of a sudden the walk becomes so pleasurable. When you have your own secret pathways that you take, when you have a situation where your walk can take you to your favorite restaurant. And then imagine this. You're eating your favorite bacon and egg plate at your favorite breakfast place, right? And all of a sudden, not only did you walk there, but you're also walking home. That's a treat you can afford to have once or twice a month because you're going to walk off those calories instantly. If you get used to walking every time you kind of break your little rules that you make for your diet and exercise plan, well, pretty soon you're just going to start losing weight like crazy. And let's be honest, with most diet and exercise plans, they don't even really like to talk with you about what goals you're going to hit because they know deep down you're nowhere near hitting those goals yet. Guys, we're only 60 days away from you starting to realize and hit some of these goals. And if you can hit these goals in 60 days, guys, we're old enough where 60 days feels like a couple of weeks. Let's do this. You just got to make a plan that instead of listening to YouTube videos and watching TV, I'm going to get outside and I'm going to go for it. And if you can get outside and go for it, you're going to be in a win-win situation. Oh my God, guys, it's Pretty Girl. I don't know if you guys can see her. She's up there by that silver truck. Oh, Pretty Girl, Pretty Girl. If you guys don't know who Pretty Girl is, she is our mascot. She's basically a dog that on the weekends, she likes to come down here and visit her boyfriend, and then she likes to go back down by my house where I believe she lives. So let's see if we can say hi to Pretty Girl. So I don't know if you guys can see her. She's there in the middle of the street by that silvery car. Hi, Pretty Girl. I've been telling you guys the last handful of days how cool and how nice the weather is, and I'm telling you, it's only 87 right now, but because the sun is so right there, it feels like 105. It feels like a really tough day. Pretty girl, how are you? Hi, pretty girl. That dog doesn't have teats, so I don't either. Pretty girl had her puppies, or that's not pretty girl. But that looks like pretty girl. I think that is pretty girl, because right when I said pretty girl, she took off like she always does. All the pretty girls do that to me. Darn it, if you're pretty and I say pretty girl, quit running. Damn it. Who do these women nowadays think they are? Okay, pretty girl went down that alley. I think that is pretty girl. But I think she might have had puppies or something, because her boobs are gone. What are you talking about, a woman's boobs? It's a dog. Get out of here, Bob. Don't be that way. Gosh, you know, it's funny. If every day felt this miserable hot, it would probably be, hi, pretty girl, have a good day. Have a good day. I think that was pretty girl. So it's funny, guys, if you're miserable, like right now, it's a miserable 87 because it's just like right there. It's not so fun to walk. So what do? Let's take that knowledge and use it to our advantage. If you know it's absolutely miserable by 9 a.m., well, set your alarm if you absolutely have to, so you get out a little early. And if you do get to the point where, oh, it's too late for my walk, don't just quit your walk for the day. That's what you always do. That's why you always fail at these things. What you need to do, and let's get real, that is why you always quit and fail. Some stupid excuse like you woke up too late, or you had a doctor's appointment. God, that's the one my mother uses. I had a doctor's appointment. What's that have to do with you meeting up with your friend and going to the gym and working out? Well, just, whenever I have a day like this, I call it a day, and that's all I do is my doctor's appointment. Your doctor's appointment's at 8 in the morning. You're in there with him for 5 whole minutes. You're out of there by 8:30, 8:45. Go to the dang gym. Quit using that as an excuse. So here's your excuse. It's 9 a.m., it's too hot. Okay, we missed our morning routine, our morning walk. That means in the evening, we're gonna make up for it. It's 6 or 7 in the morning, the sun's gone down, it's not that hot. Put your shoes on and get on a walk before you watch your late evening football game. You just have to do it. And if you know that you're gonna have trouble waking up, quit choosing to stay up late at midnight to watch Friday the 13th, which, by the way, the other day was Friday the 13th. Hey, did you guys notice something? On September 11th, this was honestly the first year since September 11th happened where I didn't hear anybody talking about September 11th. Now, if we've gotten to a point where that's all it takes is about 20, 25 years for people to become completely out of touch with a tragedy like 9/11, then that's pretty sad. I think we need to make it an official holiday. If you think we should make the 911 memorial situation, if you think we should make that a holiday, let me know down in the comments, because I agree with you. I think that should be one of those paid days off. And you know what we should do on 9/11 every year? We should walk 9 miles. Or, like Sean, walk 9 miles times 11 days in a row for 99 miles. Sean, you are a walking machine. You're one of these people that you write about it every day. Let me tell you what I think happened with Sean and Mala and maybe Lily, because they like to walk all the time with me. I think what happens is they went out on a walk, and I think at first they thought, this is easy, this is no big deal, this is kind of peaceful. I think after a week or two they thought, this is actually very peaceful. This is a real good way to lower my stress. And then after another 4 or 5 weeks they thought, not only is this peaceful and helping lowering my stress, but I'm getting some sunlight on my skin, I feel energized, I'm starting to lose 5 or 6 pounds. And then before you knew it, they started buying into this idea of extra credit, like, hey, if I feel this great with a 20 or 30 minute walk, what's to stop me from doing a 60 or 90 minute walk? And so in many cases, they started doing that. All of a sudden, here they are 180 plus days later, and they're still with me. And you would almost think that they were the host of the show because they are so into getting other people to walk. What are the reasons people do that? I believe when it comes to Sean and Mala and Lily, the reason they want other people to walk is because I believe the walk has legitimately made their lives better. So if walking can make my life better, which it has, and if it can do the same for a lot of venters, which it has, then you got to ask yourself, what's holding you back? If you want to feel better, you want to start solving problems, you want to start losing weight, and you want to finally have a diet and exercise routine that you don't quit, you found it. So instead of looking for 2 or 3 other novel ways to lose weight, go look for your first and your second shoe, put them on your first and your second feet, and let's go. We're willing to walk with you every single day. By the way, if you're new to us and you're wondering, well, what the hell happens when I take a day off or if I'm sick? What we do is we just try to obey 2 of the 3 rules at all time. So the 3 rules, once again, are walking, drinking water, and avoiding sugar. If you end up drinking some Coke, don't freak out. Just go right back to water, go right back to doing your walk, go right back to avoiding sugar. You eat a donut, no big deal. Keep drinking water, keep walking. You miss your walk, no big deal. Just don't drink any sodas, don't eat any sugars. Before you know it, you've lost weight even on days that you take off. You can do this. I can do this. You can do this. We can do this. Let's do this. Have a great day. Do a little extra credit if you can.